Now it's time for our first local musician. Please welcome a 15-year-old pianist named Harvest Zhang. Harvest, what are you going to play for us?
I'm going to be playing the Russian dance from Stravinsky's Petrouchka ballet.
So there are so many notes in this. The score is actually uniquely accommodating. It's not the usual way piano music is written out. Why don't you try and explain that to our audience?
Mm-hmm. Well, usual piano music is in two staves. You have treble clef for your right hand and bass clef for your left hand. And Petrouchka had so many notes, they wrote it in three staves. And so you have the bass clef with your left hand and your treble clef with your right hand in the middle. You just play with your head. No, you play it with a combination of both hands. But it makes for an interesting piece.
Great piece. Can't wait to hear it. Harvest Zhang, 15 years old, our pianist from Rochester, New York, playing the Russian dance from Petrouchka. I have carpal tunnel listening to you playing that. You know, just how do you get through that? I mean, I also really like how, I mean, it's usually just such a bang fest when I hear pianists play that, and you have such a, you know, after the barrage of the opening, you have such a wonderful lightness about that. Is that something you've thought about, or is that something, you know, just always been your conception of the piece?
Thank goodness for muscle memory.
Yeah.
You kind of learn the piece when you're looking at the score, and then you just realize when you're listening to a recording of it that you can't think about every single note while you're playing it, or else you're not going to be able to get through it at any decent speed. So you kind of let your muscles take over, and you're just like, oh, I'm sitting here as an audience, and I'm listening to my fingers play, and I'm going to watch from a third-person perspective, and that makes it work.
So once you trust your muscles, you can think about anything.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about all that extraneous stuff.
No.
No.
You think about how you're playing, and if you're not making it sound good, then you have to change what you're doing. So it's kind of like you're listening from an audience point of view, but you can change what the performer is doing.
Pretty neat,
Yeah.
being a performer. Hey, didn't I see you in Seiji Ozawa's seats in Tanglewood?
Yes, in 2002, it was Van Cliburn's 60th birthday concert tour, and we went to Tanglewood, the big shed, to see him perform. And we didn't buy tickets beforehand, which is probably not a very smart thing to do. But when we got there, the only real tickets left on sale were the ones out on the lawn where everyone's just having a picnic, and you can't really hear what's going on inside.
Certainly can't see anything.
Yeah, and so we waited outside, and just because we were lucky, some people couldn't use their tickets, and we managed to buy tickets in the very back row of the shed. So we got into the shed, then a little while later, an usher came in, and we got to talking, and I think it came out somewhere that I played piano. And so she came back 10 minutes later, and she said, come up front, we have seats for you up front. And so there was this little, roped off section there, and I didn't know what it was. I just knew there was open seats. So I sat there, and I listened to the concert, which was amazing. Yeah. And at intermission, a man sitting, somewhere near me leaned over and is like, "Are you Seiji Ozawa's grandson?" Because, I don't know, I had black hair. I look Japanese, I guess.
I always thought Ozawa was an Irish name myself. So you're obviously gifted in the art of schmoozing ushers. But you're also a gifted speller? Been in one of those big-time spelling bees?
Yep, that was the 2005 Scripps National Spelling Bee. And so I went through the regional bee to get there, and once it was there, I got to say that's the only time that something not sports-related has been on ESPN. So were a little more than 270 people, about 270 people total on the first day. I made it all the way through the first day rounds, which were not televised. And then by the second day, only 50 were left. And that's when they started taping this stuff. Mm-hmm. And as it happens, the first round, I blanked out and I missed my word. Aww. And so, the first time the people at home saw it, it was oh, he only got one word and he missed that.
That's terrible. That's the kind of memory you want out of your system.
Yeah.
Can we help in that regard? Would you like to relive the moment and kind of set things straight? What was the word that you lost on, by the way?
Dioscuric.
Which means?
Twin. It's not something you hear all the time, though.
Dioscuric. Yeah, okay. I thought maybe Dioscuric, might have been Dan Rather's, evil god, Dioscuric. I don't know. Don't make me come down there. Okay, let's relive that fateful moment with better results. Joanne?
Mr. Zhang, your final word is dioscuric. Dioscuric, it means twin.
Could you please use it in a sentence?
The Dioscuric lions on either side of the library steps are a New York landmark.
Dioscuric. Dioscuric. Dioscuric.
That is correct.
So did that feel good?
Very good. Hey, it's on radio.
It's on radio?
Except for ESPN.
Which is better, making right on the spelling bee or having a phenomenal performance of the Russian Dancer to your belt?
This is better.
Really? Okay, well, you can get on with your life now. Thanks. Thanks for being with us. Harvest Zhang, 15 years old, from here in Rochester, New York.
Support for NPR comes from the Music Performance Fund, striving to enrich lives by sponsoring thousands of free concerts in the United States. Schedules at musicpf.org. From the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, dedicated to the idea that all people deserve the chance to live a healthy, productive life. Details are at gatesfoundation.org. And from the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, helping to build a more just future for the nation and the world, at macfound.org.